The Patriots have finally made the move we've been waiting for as they signed Stefon Diggs to a 3-year contract. And guess what? A wide receiver has finally been brought in to New England that can pose a downfield threat with Drake Maye. Welcome in here to the heart of Boston sports. I'm Jay Sanders. I appreciate your time. And without further ado, let's start talking about it. The details of the contract. Free agent wide receiver Stefon Diggs reached an agreement on a 3-year, $69 million deal. This does include $26 million guaranteed with the Patriots. This coming from Adam Schefter, and I could not be more excited for this move. And the first thing I'll start with is, yes, people are probably going to look at this and say, oh, that's an overpay. He was injured last year. That's too much. The Patriots aren't going to be, worth that much. That's not a good deal. Doesn't matter. You made the move. That's the big thing. The Patriots had money to spend. If they overpay on Stefon Diggs, who in my mind is probably the best wide receiver left for them to get, then so be it. They wanted DK Metcalf. He didn't want to be a New England Patriot. They probably wanted Cooper Kupp. That didn't work out. He went to Seattle. And so now you sit here, you get a wide receiver for not just 1 year or 2 years, you get him for 3 years on, I would say, a relatively effective contract. Obviously, only $26 million of that is guaranteed. So say he flops this year, say it's not a good year. What's the harm in, letting some dead cap run away? It's not that big a deal. I just love that we're going to see a wide receiver with the talent and skill set of Stefon Diggs be in New England. And honestly, seeing him in a Patriots jersey is a surreal feeling for a couple different reasons. The first one being, it's just nice to see a superstar caliber wide receiver put on that blue jersey and have that Patriots emblem across the chest. It's an exciting thing to see. The second factor to that is this guy was with the Bills, tormenting us for a couple years. I mean, obviously, had some good games, had some bad games, but this was a guy we feared in some aspects, and now he has come back to the AFC East. He's going to face the Bills 2 times this year, and I think that kind of poses an interesting topic of, we know the turmoil that's there between Josh Allen, Stefon Diggs. I don't think there was any, oh, I'm going to sign with a team in the AFC so I can go back and go against you. That's not what that was. However, the prospect is there that he gets to play a team that there's some turmoil, quote unquote. Josh Allen says no, but it's obvious. It's pretty obvious that there was some definite hard feelings in some aspects between Stefon Diggs and the Bills organization and Josh Allen just obviously playing certain games this past year. And now he gets to play them 2 times a year. And with a quarterback like Drake Maye, I have to expect those might be his best games of the season. And the concern is there, the ACL, it is what it is. The injuries, they're going to happen. And hopefully that time is over. He's been a very healthy wide receiver throughout his entire career until this past season. And honestly, his stats are more than worthy before that tear. But just the names that the Patriots have signed this year, it's a nice feeling to see Stefon Diggs now on top of that list. And I'll explain why. Obviously, these are all great signings. I'm excited for Carlton Davis. I think he, alongside Christian Gonzalez, makes one of the best cornerback rooms in the NFL. I'm excited for Robert Spillane. I think he is going to really help kind of command this defense from the linebacker position. Obviously, Harold Landry has had some very good moments, and being back with Mike Vrabel, I could see a very good season for him. But none of these names popped off the board. None of these names were like, oh, I'm so excited to sign them. I'm so excited that we got this guy. And that was nothing that was against the Patriots, just this Mac Hollins is a great signing. I think he's going to be great things. But that doesn't push the barrier. That's not ESPN. That's not big national news. It's not all over the place. Joshua Dobbs, great backup QB. That's not a big news all over the place. Stefon Diggs puts you in the news. And for such a big market, I mean, you talk about WEI, you talk about 98.5. They're all talking about the Patriots, and the Red Sox season starts in 2 days. The Patriots are a very big topic, and signing Stefon Diggs puts them back into a big national media perspective. Having Drake Maye, the signings that they made, I mean, this is a lot of names. Whether you want to talk about if it's going to be a good season or not, they made moves. And to some extent, I look back to the last season. Who had the most money? Well, that would be the Washington Commanders. Well, what'd they do with it? Well, they drafted Jaden Daniels and spent a bunch of it. And where'd they find themselves? Oh, that's right. They were in the NFC Championship. Well, the Patriots, obviously year 2 of Drake Maye now, you're going to have a top 4 pick, and you spent a lot of money. I think the sky's the limit. I think there's a lot of potential there. I'm not saying that, they're going to go to the AFC Championship. They're going to go face off against the Chiefs. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the positives are there, and I think it poses a excitement to the season that we really haven't had in a while. And obviously this wide receiver room is a huge part of that. Stefon Diggs, Matt Collins, 2 new names. Kendrick Bourne, Pop Douglas, Jalen Polk, Kayshon Boutte. I think between Douglas, Polk, and Boutte, they still have potential there, and I'm excited to see what they do this season. Polk was obviously just a very big letdown in the Patriots and wide receiver. Drafting wide receivers just has not been a amazing thing, but at the same time, he did very good things in college, and sometimes it takes a little bit to adjust the NFL. This wide receiver room makes me excited. Matt Collins is a very big deep threat. Stefon Diggs is a very big deep threat. To some extent, Kendrick Bourne could do that as well. I mean, you have the chance to make this offense what you want it to be. You can have it be a spread offense at times because of the arm strength of Drake Maye and the speed of Stefon Diggs and the ability of him to get downfield. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen with the injuries, and the way that to perform this year could be very different. Matt Collins, I think, has a very similar performance. Obviously, not as high as a quality as Stefon Diggs, but I think he does have the speed there. He has the ability to go up and down the field, and it poses a fun offensive scheme, and it just makes for a fun time in a lot of aspects. And Stefon Diggs is just a good wide receiver, and I think people who are calling this an overpay, who are saying, I don't like the move, are really just looking at the one season outside of Buffalo and, in more serious notes, what he has done since he's left Buffalo. They know the locker room presence, not being able to have some, having that turmoil with the Bills and Josh Allen. Guys, this guy was a 6-year, 1,000-yard receiver with the Bills and the Minnesota Vikings. He has the stats. The touchdowns are there too. Even in his first 3 years in the league, 720, 903, 849 with 8 touchdowns in his 3rd season. We all know the Minnesota Miracle. This guy has the one wherewithal to go out there and compete as a New England Patriot in a big market. 2, knows what is expected of him. And I think that is the biggest thing people are missing. People are going to expect a lot of him just because of what I just showed you. That wide receiver room is good, but he is the top dog. He is the number 1 wide receiver. He is going to face the top cornerbacks in the league. But that's what he wants. That's what he wanted. He wanted to be the top wide receiver. And I know DK Metcalf looked great. He didn't want to be a Patriot. Cooper Kupp looked great. He ended up with the Seahawks. When you get to this point, you're looking at who's available, what's left, what holes you need to fill. This is the best signing. And I, for one, was a little worried they were going to take Travis Hunter. I personally don't want him. And I think that's off the board now. I think this offense is in a good spot without him. Drake Maye, Rhamondre Stevenson, Antonio Gibson, Stefon Diggs, Pop Douglas. You have Travis Hunter. I don't really think you need him. I think you get the offensive lineman with pick number 4. Kayshon Boutte, Hunter Henry, Austin Hooper. This offense is capable of doing amazing things, and now it's just can they go out there and succeed that? And this offseason, I think, is, I would say, now successful. I'm not going to say that it wasn't successful before this because you got a lot of amazing players, but at the same time, you needed that wide receiver to kind of complete it all. And now you complete it. You go out, you draft Will Campbell in your 4th overall pick. You boost up that offensive line even more already than your signings. And you're in a very amazing spot right now for the Patriots to come out and be good. I mean, straight up, that's honestly what I'm looking for. I hate to say it, and that's sucky compared to the history the Patriots have, the years that happened in my lifetime. But I want them to be good. That's all I can care for. If they're above 500, if they're competing in the AFC East, that's all that matters. That's what I want. I want them to be good. And then we can get to the Super Bowl, we can get to the playoffs, we can worry about that later. But having Drake Maye, Stefon Diggs, it's just an exciting time to be a New England Patriot, and I hope you are happy to be here as well. Hey, if you made it to the end of the video, do me a favor, go down there and hit that subscribe button. Obviously, you enjoyed the content, and we will see you next time here on the Heart of Boston Sports.